The WWE is the perfect platform for wrestlers to show off their crazy feats of strength. Watch as cars are flipped over, rings are completely destroyed, and opponents like Edge, Matt Hardy, and the Great Khali pay the price for messing with some of the biggest and strongest superstars in WWE history. Before you get amazed, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Big Show flipping cars. When you have a name like The Big Show, fans expect big things out of you. In the ring, The Big Show displays his strength with choke slams and knockout punches. There have been a few times where Big Show used his massive strength outside of the ring. Oddly, each one of these instances involved the flipping of a car. During an episode of SmackDown, an angry and irate Big Show set his sights on Tori Wilson. Of course, he didn't take his anger out on her, instead focusing on her car. As Wilson screamed in shock and awe, the Big Show crushed the whole roof as it turned over and crashed down. Not only did he flip the car with ease, but later in the night he threw Kurt Angle off a huge ledge. A few years later, Big Show had the chance to show his car flipping skills again when building up his feud with Aki Bono for their sumo match at WrestleMania 21. The Big Show flipped a Jeep over on the WWE stage in an effort to showcase his strength. While the Jeep flipping was impressive, it wasn't good enough for him to win the sumo match at WrestleMania. Mark Henry's tractor trailer pull. When you live with the nickname the world's strongest man, then you have a reputation to uphold in the WWE ring. Mark Henry has more than proven himself to earn the nickname through the years. He's torn off steel cage doors, lifted massive stars like the Great Khali, and been in some brutal battles with various WWE superstars. During his SummerSlam match against Sheamus, Henry plowed him right through the ringside barrier. Despite all this, Henry's biggest feat of strength in the WWE occurred outside the ring. During an episode of SmackDown, Henry got the chance to show off his skills in a tractor trailer pulling competition. Henry attempted to pull 2 tractor trailers at the same time using his massive strength. He was able to do it using all his strength to get them rolling. Many WWE backstage members could barely get the tractor trailers to move. In a race to the finish line, Henry attempted to set a world record, and he did just that, completing the track in an incredibly quick time. It may have been an odd segment to view on WWE programming, but it did help re-establish Henry's position and nickname as the world's strongest man. A monster kick. Braun Strowman has spent months dominating on WWE Raw. He often makes his opponents look like crash test dummies as he throws them around the ring and uses his dominant force. He's put Brock Lesnar on a stretcher, pushed Roman Reigns to the limit, and never backs down from a challenge. So many have fallen to Strowman's brutality, no one knows this better than Apollo Crews. During a July 2017 match on WWE Raw, Crews tried his hardest to keep the big man down, but all his efforts weren't enough. After attacking at Strowman's legs, Crews got Braun down flat on his back. That's when he made the big mistake of attempting a standing backflip. While still in midair, Strowman used his massive legs to kick Crews halfway across the ring. Both legs went right into Crews' ribs and flipped his body over completely. I guess Apollo's name is fitting because he went flying around like he was on an anti-gravity space mission. After the massive kick, Crews was knocked out cold on the mat. Most feats of strength are shown with arms, but Strowman proved that any part of his body could be used to inflict maximum damage. Matt Hardy thrown through a wall. Brock Lesnar didn't become an unstoppable beast when he joined the UFC and later returned to the WWE. Ever since his debut in 2002, he has always been this way, drawing fear out of his opponents and letting his actions do the talking in the ring. This was especially true after Paul Heyman screwed Brock Lesnar over by turning on him and allowing the Big Show to defeat him for the WWE Championship at the 2002 Survivor Series. The following week on SmackDown, Lesnar was still furious, taking out anyone in his path. As Lesnar huffed and puffed through the WWE locker room, most of the roster tried to avoid his presence. Then, Matt Hardy decided to stand up and give Lesnar an encouraging pep talk. Big mistake. Lesnar's response to Hardy was a quick beatdown, which also included Hardy getting picked up in the air and launched right through a wall. The wall broke into multiple pieces as Hardy's body flopped to the other side. The strength and power of Lesnar was on display as he made it look easy to smash through a solid wall. This could just be one of the earliest signs of Matt Hardy becoming broken. This instance was definitely more physically broken than mentally. The Big Show's debut. After spending years in WCW, The Big Show signed with the WWE in 1999 and saw his career soar to new heights. To help make The Big Show's debut and character impactful, multiple storylines were set up to showcase his crazy size and strength. His first official WWE appearance took place at the St. Valentine's Massacre pay-per-view. In the steel cage main event match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, The Big Show, Paul White, tore through the bottom of the ring. He beat down Austin and then threw him so hard into the steel cage the wall broke open and Austin swung to the outside. A short time later, The Big Show got a chance to showcase his strength against The Undertaker on an episode of WWE Raw. The two brawled all over the ring until The Big Show lifted The Undertaker way up in the air and delivered a chokeslam so powerful it sent The Undertaker crashing through the ring. The crowd went nuts as The Undertaker disappeared underneath the ring mat and The Big Show's crazy strength was put on display. These two moments only helped The Big Show have a long career in the WWE, which included multiple championships, tag team title reigns, and WrestleMania main events. Hold tight, we're gonna give you more feats of strength right after this quick trivia question. Stay tuned until the end to see the answer. Lex Luger is known as the first person to ever body slam Yokozuna, but can you name the wrestler who body slammed him when he was well over 700 pounds? A WrestleMania attitude adjustment. John Cena is never one to back down from a challenge. The former bodybuilder has spent years showcasing his impressive strength. He's constantly picking up WWE Superstars and performing his attitude adjustment to the delight of fans. It's only fitting that one of his biggest attitude adjustments would take place at WrestleMania 25. Involved in a triple threat match against Edge and The Big Show, Cena put everything on the line in an attempt to win the World Heavyweight Championship. One of the biggest highlights in the match came when Cena lifted both The Big Show and Edge over his shoulders. That is over 700 pounds of weight on the shoulders of Cena. Edge was able to slip out of the move, but The Big Show was not so lucky as he came crashing down to the mat. This wasn't the first time that Big Show would fall victim to the attitude adjustment at WrestleMania. 5 years earlier, at WrestleMania 20, John Cena used his strength to deliver 2 attitude adjustments in a successful attempt to win the United States champions from The Big Show. It seems like the big stage of WrestleMania really brings the best out of Cena and his crazy strength. Cesaro and the Great Khali. Cesaro may not look like one of the biggest guys in the ring, but he is certainly one of the strongest and most talented. It's one thing to see Cesaro hit his super swing on opponents, but it's a whole other thing when he uses his strength to hit his finishing move, the neutralizer. The move involves lifting a wrestler straight up in the air and slamming them down on the mat below. It's impressive enough to perform this move on any superstar, but Cesaro managed to do the move on the Great Khali. After lifting Khali up in the air, he actually held up for several seconds before slamming him down and defeating him. Cesaro also performed the same move on The Big Show, but it wasn't his only huge feat of strength of the Giant star. At WrestleMania 30, Cesaro competed in the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. The final 2 competitors in the match were Cesaro and The Big Show. Out of nowhere, Cesaro scooped up The Big Show, carried him a few feet, and tossed him over the top rope. It was a crazy impressive move and helped elevate Cesaro's career to the next level. Body slamming Andre the Giant. There's no denying Hulk Hogan's strength in the ring. He has taken on some of the biggest WWE superstars of all time, like Yokozuna, King Kong Bundy, and Psycho Sid. One of his biggest feuds in the WWE was against Andre the Giant. Heading into WrestleMania 3, Andre was a massive force and billed as an undefeated superstar. Hulk Hogan not only had to defend his championship, but he had to prove he could conquer the Giant. In one of the most used clips in wrestling history, Hulk Hogan scooped up Andre the Giant and body slammed him down to the mat. The record-breaking crowd roared as the move was completed. This feat of strength was especially great because earlier in the match, Hogan failed to do the body slam and nearly lost the match because of it. There are probably very few wrestling fans who haven't seen this clip. It is truly the original feat of strength featured in the WWE. Hogan did the same thing 1 year later at WrestleMania 4 and was even able to lift him up for a little longer. In the years that followed this, the Ultimate Warrior was also able to body slam the Giant, showing off some impressive strength of his own. Brock Lesnar breaks the ring. The Brock Lesnar and Big Show feud has lasted for numerous years. Back in Lesnar's early days, their matches were brutal contests that took the best out of both men. The whole feud would reach new heights when the two competitors met on the main event of SmackDown. After battling for several minutes, Lesnar took the Big Show to the top ropes where he performed a massive superplex. As both bodies came crashing down to the mat, the whole ring collapsed beneath them. No one has seen anything like that in the WWE before, and the top rope superplex was crazy enough as it was. Of course, this moment was so popular that the WWE has recreated it on multiple occasions. The first recreation came during a World Heavyweight title match between Big Show and Mark Henry. Both massive men crashed down to the mat at the same time. One of the more recent instances of this took place on an episode of WWE Raw. Braun Strowman was the one delivering the superplex this time. Not only did the whole ring collapse, but the referee went flying as well. Brock Lesnar gets the most credit for this feat of strength because he was the first one to do it. Braun Strowman's ambulance flip. Braun Strowman's push in the WWE has been incredible. He's been built up as an unstoppable monster, and so far it has worked to his advantage. He has torn through the WWE roster, won multiple handicap matches, and really branched away from his former Wyatt family roots. One of his biggest feuds to date has been against Roman Reigns. These two have taken each other to the limit in multiple matches and brawls. One of these brawls occurred on WWE Raw when Reigns was blindsided from behind. Reigns was tossed into walls, slammed into equipment, crushed on his side as Strowman went on his rampage. Strowman beat Reigns all over the locker room so severely he had to be strapped to a stretcher. The attack continued when Strowman took control of the stretcher and caused even more harm to the superstar. After rolling Reigns off a ledge in the stretcher, he was eventually loaded into an ambulance, but that wasn't enough for Strowman. Showcasing unbelievable strength, he was able to lift the ambulance off the ground and flip the massive vehicle on its side. He made the whole thing look easy as he wreaked havoc in the whole backstage area. Thanks for watching. Now for your trivia answer. Former WWE Intercontinental Champion Ahmed Johnson was able to body slam Yokozuna on an episode of WWE Raw. This was when Yokozuna was at one of his biggest sizes. Wow, there you have it. What feat of strength was the most impressive? Who was your favorite big wrestler of all time? It's not like Vince McMahon didn't give you a bunch of options. Are there any we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos.